You already know how to spot the difficult ones. The person who raises their voice, the colleague who criticizes everything, the family member who never seems satisfied with anything you do.
You can feel those coming. You prepare. You protect yourself. You know who they are.
But there is another kind of drain, and this one you almost never see coming. Because this person does not look like a problem.
They speak softly. They often genuinely care about you. They ask thoughtful questions. They seem supportive.
And yet, after every interaction with them, you feel it. Something has been taken.
You feel slightly tired, slightly less confident about something you were confident about before, slightly smaller, slightly more uncertain, slightly less yourself.
And you cannot explain it. Because nothing obviously bad happened. Nobody was rude. Nobody attacked. Nobody said anything that you can point to and say that was wrong.
But something shifted. Something was quietly removed.
Your energy, your confidence, your clarity, your sense of your own judgment.
Taken, not violently, not intentionally in most cases, but taken.
And today, we name every single pattern. Clearly, specifically, in English.
Because the drain you cannot name, you cannot stop.
And the drain you can name, you can protect yourself from. Without confrontation. Without drama. Without losing people you genuinely love or need in your life.
Just with awareness and the right words.
Stay with us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Unstoppable, the podcast where we help you speak English naturally and confidently through real, honest conversations.
I'm John.
And I'm Maria. So happy you're here with us today.
This episode is for B1 to B2 learners, intermediate to upper intermediate level English.
How are you feeling today, John?
Honestly, aware. Because this topic, I have been on both sides of it. I have been drained by people I did not recognize were draining me. And I have also, without meaning to, been the subtle drain in someone else's life. And recognizing both was uncomfortable and important.
Same. Before we start, thank you. Really. For being here. For being willing to look at something this personal.
Let's go.
Okay, I want to ask you something. And I want you to think about a specific person as you answer.
Is there someone in your life, not an obviously difficult person, who you consistently feel slightly drained after spending time with?
Not exhausted, not upset, not hurt in an obvious way, just slightly less energized, slightly less certain, slightly more tired than the time you spent together should account for.
And when you try to explain why, you cannot quite name it, because they did not do anything obviously wrong.
Maybe they were warm. Maybe they expressed concern. Maybe they even complimented you.
But the feeling is consistent. Every single time. Without exception.
That feeling, that consistent, inexplicable, slight deflation, it is not your imagination.
It is information. Precise, important, actionable information about a pattern in that relationship.
And today, we help you read it and respond to it intelligently. In English.
5 specific patterns, each one subtle, each one gentle, each one almost invisible unless you know what to look for.
Pattern 1. The qualified support.
This person supports you, but their support almost always comes with something attached. A small qualification. A gentle but. A slight shadow.
Your presentation went really well, but I noticed a few people seemed a little confused in the middle part.
Congratulations on the new job, but do you think you're ready for that level of responsibility?
I'm so happy for you, but just make sure you're not moving too fast without thinking everything through.
Each comment individually seems reasonable, thoughtful even, like they are looking out for you.
But here is the pattern. The support always comes first, and then the shadow arrives immediately after.
And the shadow always stays longer than the support.
And after enough of these interactions, something shifts. You start to feel the shadow before the support arrives. You find yourself bracing.
And you start to share less. Because you know, whatever you share, however good the news, the shadow will come.
Pattern 2. The comparison drain.
This person consistently brings up other people's achievements in a way that, however gently, positions you slightly below them, makes you feel subtly behind.
Did you hear what David is doing now? You two started at the same company at the same time, didn't you?
My neighbor just bought her second property at 32. I always think of you two as being similar.
Not cruelty, not attack, just a consistent pattern of subtle comparison.
And comparison, constant, low-level comparison, is one of the most effective energy drains available because it activates the measuring part of your brain.
And once the measuring starts, it is very hard to stop. It follows you out of the conversation, into your quiet moments, into your confidence.
Am I behind? Should I be further along? Why aren't I where they are?
Questions you were not asking before the conversation, that you now cannot stop asking.
Pattern 3. The problem amplifier.
This person does not help you solve problems. They help you feel them more.
You arrive with a manageable challenge. You share it. And their response, though genuinely well-meaning, amplifies it.
Oh, that sounds really difficult. Do you think it might also affect your work situation? And what about your relationship? I was reading that situations like this often lead to
They are concerned. They are caring. But their concern adds dimensions to your problem that you had not considered.
and you leave the conversation carrying something much heavier than what you arrived with.
Amplify means to make something louder, larger, or more intense. Problem amplifiers do this to every difficulty you bring them.
And the result? You stop bringing them your difficulties, which means you stop having honest conversations with them, which means the relationship slowly becomes surface only.
Not because they were bad, but because being honest with them costs too much energy.
Pattern 4. The emotional loan shark.
This one is more subtle than any of the others, and often the most costly over time.
This person gives support. Real support. Genuine help. But, and this is the key, the support creates a debt you never agreed to.
They help you, visibly, generously, and then, in subtle ways, over time, they reference the help. They remind you of it. They invoke it.
After everything I've done for you,
I was always there for you when things were hard, wasn't I?
I've given so much to this relationship. I just wonder if it goes both ways.
Not financial debt, emotional debt. And like financial debt, it has interest. The original amount grows over time.
And every interaction carries the weight of what you owe. The performance you must maintain. the ways you must behave to stay in good standing with this person.
And freedom, the freedom to be fully yourself in the relationship, it quietly disappears.
Loan shark is an expression for someone who lends money at very high interest. An emotional loan shark lends support at very high emotional cost.
Pattern 5. The subtle underminer.
This person does not criticize you directly. They are too careful for that. Instead, they undermine through questions.
Are you sure about that?
Have you really thought this through completely?
Do you think that's really the best approach?
Is that definitely the right decision for someone in your situation?
Each question, by itself, sounds like genuine concern, like caring inquiry.
But consistently, these questions are always applied to your confidence, your judgment, your decisions, your capabilities, never to other people's.
And slowly, without ever being attacked, without ever being directly criticized, you start asking those questions yourself.
Before you speak, before you decide, before you act, you hear their voice. Are you sure? Inside your own head.
And you shrink. Preemptively. Before anyone asks you to.
And they, possibly without ever consciously intending it, are the reason.
Okay. We have named the patterns. But why, knowing these patterns exist, are they so hard to identify in real life?
3 specific reasons. And all 3 protect the patterns from being recognized.
Reason 1. The person is genuinely not a villain.
This is perhaps the most important and most confusing part. These patterns, the qualified support, the comparison drain, the amplification, the emotional debt, the subtle undermining, they almost never come from malice.
Malice means the deliberate intention to cause harm.
These people are often genuinely caring, genuinely loving, genuinely trying to help in the way they know how, in the way they were themselves taught.
The parent who always qualifies support, they are trying to prepare you for disappointment, to protect you from hurt.
The person who makes comparisons, they may genuinely not realize they are doing it. It is their own anxiety about achievement, expressed in your direction.
And this makes it enormously confusing. Because you cannot say, this person is bad. They are not bad. They love you in their own complicated way.
But their way of loving, it has a cost, and you are paying it.
And recognizing the cost is not the same as condemning the person. Both things can be true at the same time.
Reason 2. The pattern is intermittent.
Intermittent means not constant. Occurring sometimes, but not always.
These patterns are not present in every interaction. There are good days. Days when the support is clean and warm and nourishing. Days when you leave feeling better than before.
And those good days, they create doubt. Maybe I imagined the pattern. Maybe it was just one difficult day. Maybe I am being too sensitive.
But the pattern is real. The good days are real too. Both exist. And the pattern, however intermittent, has a cumulative cost.
Cumulative means adding up gradually over time. Each instance small. Together, significant.
Reason 3. The cost is delayed.
The most insidious thing about subtle drains is that the cost often does not appear immediately after the interaction.
Insidious means operating in a slow, gradual, harmful way. Difficult to detect.
You leave the conversation feeling fine, or even slightly good, because the qualified support came before the shadow.
But 2 hours later, or the next morning, you notice a vague tiredness, a slight drop in your confidence about a decision, a question that won't stop.
And you do not connect it to the interaction. You just feel it, without the cause.
And because the connection is lost, the pattern goes unexamined. It continues, and the cost accumulates. Okay, let's talk about what years of subtle draining actually does. Because most people, they feel the effects without ever identifying the cause.
Effect 1. You become smaller in that relationship. Specifically in that relationship.
You share less. You disclose fewer of your genuine hopes, plans, and feelings. Not because you consciously decided to, but because sharing has consistently cost more than it gave back.
And the relationship becomes surface level. Safe, polite, surface level. Without real depth.
Not because you stopped caring about the person, but because being real with them became too expensive.
Effect 2. Their voice enters your inner monologue.
This is perhaps the most damaging long-term effect.
The subtle underminer's questions. Are you sure? Have you thought this through? They become the questions you ask yourself before you speak, before you decide, before you act.
And you no longer need them present to feel small. You carry the pattern inside, and it applies itself automatically whenever you are about to take up full size.
Effect 3. Your general confidence erodes slowly.
Not dramatically, not in a way you can pinpoint to one moment, but gradually, across months and years of interactions that take more than they give, something is depleted.
Depleted means gradually used up, reduced to a dangerously low level.
Your readiness to attempt things, your willingness to believe you are capable, your comfort with taking up the space you deserve.
All of it slightly diminished, not because of one person, not because of one conversation, but because of the cumulative effect of hundreds of small, subtle, invisible withdrawals.
And the difficult thing is, by the time you notice the depletion, you often cannot connect it to its source.
You just feel less confident, less energized, less certain.
And the most important thing we can offer today is this. The depletion is real, and the source, once named, can be addressed.
Okay, practical. Because most of these people, you do not want to remove them from your life. You love them. Or they are family. Or they are important professionally.
So, removal is not the answer for most situations. Protection within the relationship is.
And protection, done well, does not require confrontation, does not require accusation, does not require explaining the pattern to them.
It requires awareness and specific responses that keep your energy where it belongs.
Protection method 1. The internal anchor before difficult interactions.
Before any interaction with someone you have identified as a potential subtle drain, set an internal intention.
Not a wall. Not defensiveness. An anchor.
I am going into this conversation as myself. My confidence is my own. Their doubts are not my doubts. Their comparisons are not my reality.
This phrase, said internally, before the interaction begins, it keeps you in your own center, present with them, but not absorbing what does not belong to you.
Protection method 2. Respond to the support, not the shadow.
When the qualified support arrives, acknowledge the positive and redirect away from the shadow.
That's great to hear. Thank you. I feel really good about how it went.
You acknowledged their words. You responded to the warm part. You did not give the shadow a landing place.
Not dismissive, not aggressive. Just, you chose where the conversation landed. On the positive. And moved on.
Protection method 3. Reduce what you share.
You do not owe anyone unlimited access to your plans, your hopes, your doubts, your vulnerabilities.
And with people who consistently drain you, sharing less means losing less.
Your ambitions, your new ideas, your sensitive decisions. These are things you choose to give. And you can choose more selectively.
Not coldness, not withdrawal, just thoughtfulness about what you give to whom.
Protection method 4. Choose your timing deliberately.
When you do share something vulnerable with a subtle drain, choose a moment when you are feeling strong, not when you are already uncertain.
Because subtle draining is most effective when you are already depleted. It lands deeper.
When you are full, grounded, confident, clear, the shadow has less space to land. It touches and passes.
When you are depleted, it finds the exact vulnerability it needs. And it stays.
Time your interactions thoughtfully. It makes an enormous difference.
Okay, real English phrases. For the actual moments. Because knowing the patterns is important. And having the exact language to respond to them, that is what changes behavior in real life.
Category 1. Receiving qualified support without absorbing the shadow.
Thank you. I feel really proud of how that went.
That's kind. I'm going to hold on to the positive today.
I appreciate you sharing that. For now, I'm just going to celebrate what worked.
These phrases, they acknowledge the person. They are warm, and they simply do not make space for the shadow to land.
Category 2. Responding to comparison without engaging the measurement.
Everyone's on their own timeline. I try to stay focused on mine.
That's great for them. I'm excited about where I'm heading to.
I don't find comparisons very helpful, but I'm glad you told me about them.
Category 3. Protecting yourself from problem amplification.
I actually feel quite clear about this. I mostly needed to say it out loud.
Thank you for listening. I think I have what I need now.
I appreciate your concern. I'm going to trust my judgment on this one.
Category 4. Responding to emotional debt claims.
I'm grateful for everything you've done. And I also need to make this decision based on what's right for me.
I love you, and I care about this relationship, and I also need to trust myself. Here.
The support you've given me has meant a lot. And I'm choosing to honor that by making decisions I genuinely believe in.
Category 5. Responding to the subtle underminer.
I've thought about it carefully. I'm confident in this direction.
I'm sure. Thank you for checking.
I trust my judgment on this one.
Short. Clear. Grounded. Warm but firm.
These phrases do not fight. They do not accuse. They simply hold the ground. Your ground.
The ground you were always allowed to occupy.
Can I say something about what protecting your energy actually is at the deepest level?
Please.
Your energy, your confidence, your clarity, your willingness to attempt things, your belief in your own judgment, it is a resource. just like money, just like time.
And like money, it can be invested wisely, or it can leak through patterns you never named, through interactions you never examined.
And the extraordinary thing, you have far more control over this than most people ever realize.
Not through isolation, not through becoming suspicious of everyone you know.
Through awareness, through naming, through the quiet, grounded, warm responses that keep your energy exactly where it belongs.
With you, for the things that matter, for the relationships that build rather than deplete.
And for English learners, this matters in a very direct way.
Your English confidence, your willingness to speak, to try new phrases, to risk making mistakes, it is a specific form of energy.
And environments and interactions that drain your general confidence, they drain your English confidence too. They make the risk feel larger, the attempt feel more dangerous.
But when you protect your energy, when you keep your confidence intact, your English opens up with it.
You are more willing to speak, more willing to try, more willing to be imperfect and keep going anyway.
Because the energy for that willingness, it is there, intact, protected.
Protect your energy. Protect your confidence. And watch how much more freely everything flows.
Remember this, not everyone who drains you intends to, but intention does not change the cost, and awareness, once present, changes everything.
Say it again.
Not everyone who drains you intends to, but intention does not change the cost, and awareness, once present, changes everything.
Name the pattern. Protect the energy. Keep the peace.
Word tour time. Key words from today.
Word 1. Amplify. To make something louder, larger, or more intense. Example 1. She realized her friend amplified every problem she shared, and she started sharing fewer problems. Example 2. A great teacher amplifies your confidence. They make you feel larger and more capable after every interaction.
Notice who amplifies your problems and who amplifies your confidence. Invest your sharing accordingly.
Word 2. Intermittent. Not constant. Occurring sometimes, but not always. Example 1. The pattern was intermittent, which is exactly why it was so hard to identify and name. Example 2. Intermittent English practice feels like something, but daily practice, even short, produces something completely different.
Do not let the good days hide the pattern. Patterns are consistent over time. Good days are occasional exceptions.
Word 3. Insidious. Operating in a slow, gradual, harmful way. Difficult to detect. Example 1. Subtle confidence erosion is insidious. You only notice it after it has already happened. Example 2. An insidious English habit, like avoiding speaking for fear of mistakes, grows more limiting every year it continues.
Watch for the insidious things, the slow, quiet, gradual ones. They require more attention, precisely because they are easy to miss.
Word 4. Cumulative. Building up gradually over time. Each instance small. Together, significant. Example 1. The cumulative effect of hundreds of small draining interactions was a confidence she barely recognized as her own. Example 2. The cumulative effect of daily English practice is fluency, even when each session feels like a small step.
Think cumulatively. About draining relationships. About English practice. About financial habits. Small plus consistent taller significant.
Word 5. Depleted. Gradually used up, reduced to a dangerously low level. Example 1. She arrived at the conversation already depleted, and the subtle drain found exactly the vulnerability it needed. Example 2. Practice English when you are fresh, depleted practice produces less than half the results.
Protect your energy. Arrive at important interactions and important practice sessions as full as possible. Depletion makes everything harder.
Word 6. Grounded. Feeling stable and connected to yourself, not thrown off by what is happening around you. Example 1. She stayed grounded throughout the draining interaction and left with her confidence intact. Example 2. Grounded English speakers do not apologize for their level. They communicate from what they know, fully, clearly, without unnecessary apology.
Build groundedness through consistent practice, through the internal anchors that remind you your voice is valid, your judgment is real, your presence matters.
One thing this week.
After every significant interaction this week, take 60 seconds afterward. Just 60 seconds.
And ask yourself, do I feel more energized than before? Or slightly less?
More myself? Or slightly diminished?
Clearer? Or slightly more doubtful about something I was certain about?
Just notice. 1 week. Without judgment. Without action yet.
Just notice. And write down what you notice.
Because awareness comes before everything else. And the awareness this week, it will show you exactly where your energy is going.
And here is your sentence template for today.
After spending time with underscore, I notice I consistently feel underscore. This week, I am going to protect my energy by underscore.
Say it now. Out loud. With someone real in mind.
After spending time with underscore, I notice I consistently feel underscore. This week, I am going to protect my energy by underscore.
Awareness first, then protection. That is always the order. Comment challenge time.
One question, and the most honest one we have asked today.
Which of the 5 patterns did you recognize, either from someone in your life or perhaps honestly from something you sometimes do yourself?
Write your answer using this sentence. The pattern I recognized most is underscore. And this week, I am going to protect my energy by underscore.
Write it. In English. In the comments. Right now.
Because naming the pattern, even here, in this comment, it takes some of its power away. Immediately.
We read every single comment. Every one. And today, we want to read yours.
Please give this a like if this episode helped you see something clearly. It really helps more people find us.
Subscribe to Speak Unstoppable if you haven't yet. New episodes every week, real conversations, real English, real life.
Thank you for being here today.
Name the pattern.
Protect the energy.
Keep the peace.
And keep showing up. Full size, grounded, and completely yourself.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!